you doing tonight? I am thoroughly sweating after doing those two preachers. We are in this series right now, How to Sabotage Your Life. And this week we talked about how to sabotage your strength. We looked at how strength doesn't just equate to muscular strength, but you can have emotional strength and mental strength also. That there is a promise from God in the Bible, and that is when you are weak, He is strong. That actually God adds His supernatural spiritual strength to your strength when you call on the name of the Lord. And so we begin to explore this whole topic, and we bounced it around the story of Samson, who was known for his supernatural strength. The only thing is that we realize about Samson is that maybe he didn't look so muscle-bound, because when God gives you strength, it's not an obvious, visible strength. The strength that God gives you is invisible. It's when people begin to say of you, how are you still going after what you've been through? How are you still standing? How is your life still moving? You've just been through the divorce. You've just lost a loved one. You've just come through treatment. You've just got this diagnosis, but there is something about you that your life is staying strong. And we looked at the story of Samson, and we began to realize, right, that it was not about his hair, but it was about his obedience to God. The instruction from God was that Samson must never have his hair cut. But also we learned that as great as Samson's strength was, he had an equally great weakness. And you and I both know what that's like. When I've got it all going on the outside, but remember the evil twin on the inside, I'm a mess on the inside. I look like I've got it all together. I look like I'm actioning, I'm active and I'm functioning on the outside, but actually on the inside I'm falling apart. And we've all got the wrestle where we know, for as strong and as great as we are in the Lord, we have a weakness on the inside of us. And we also looked at how the Philistine enemies, they learned the pattern of Samson's weakness. They didn't have to worry about his supernatural strength. They didn't have to create an army to defeat him. They just looked at where his weakness was, and they employed a woman to deceive him. And we looked at how that's how the enemy works in your life and my life. He knows the pattern of your ways. He's not a creator, he's only an imitator. So he can only take what has been in your life and bring it around and around and again, so you keep falling down the same holes. It's why you keep making the same financial mistakes. It's why you keep falling for the same type of guy or girl. It's why that thing never seems to work out for you. It's because he knows what buttons to press and what carrots to dangle to bring you down. We went through the story of Samson and Delilah. We recognized that Samson's weakness was in women, but we also have a Delilah in our own lives. And Delilah is anything that seduces you. It's a way of life that is attractive to you. It's knocking on your door. It's demanding of your time. And like the moth being drawn into the candle flame, you can't help but be drawn into that which you know secretly it is killing you. It could be addiction, alcohol, wrong relationships, wrong friendships, pornography. Delilah can be so many things. It's the thing that you are attracted to, and it is killing you too. And so Samson let out his secret, and he went against the word of the Lord, and he had his hair cut off. And I just want to suggest to you and remind you what we spoke about, that the enemy will use seductive power to cut off your source of strength. It will be something that wants to seduce you away from the ways of God, the things you keep doing you can't stop doing, the reasons that you don't get to church, your excuses for not getting to life. He will use anything he can to seduce you, to look attractive to you, to cut you off from your source of strength, which we now know. The joy of the Lord is my strength. So the enemy wants to sabotage your joy. What is the joy of the Lord? Well, the joy of the Lord is when I can delight in Him. Not because I want to get something from Him, not because I need Him to fix something in me, but the joy of the Lord is, God, I just thank you for the life I have. I thank you for what you have done. I thank you that I'm here today. It's gratitude, an attitude of gratitude. Wait on the Lord. That's what the prophet Isaiah said. Wait on the Lord, and he will renew your strength. It's not work for the Lord. Read about the Lord. Visit yourself. Wait. Love God with all of your heart. Remember last week? In him I live and move and have my being. Let the joy of the Lord be your strength. Maybe you could start your conversation tonight in Life Group by really just diving straight in there and asking the question. If you're not bold enough to ask it in a group, ask yourself personally, what is my Delilah? What is it that I'm allowing to seduce me and cut off my strength from God? Have a great night, and I'll see you next time.